If you want to test ads to find out what the most profitable creative is for your own business, but there's a bunch of conflicting information online and you're confused on how to do it, everybody's talking about spending way more on ads and you're spending like 50 or $100 per day, and you're getting lost in the actual testing framework because there's too many variables to actually test and figure out, then this video is for you, because for the last 6 months, I've been doing this, figuring it out on my own, and I asked a question to a mastermind and they gave me an awesome answer that's given me clarity on how to do this for my business. So here's the core confusion that I've been dealing with. If you know what your cost per target acquisition is, you know that that ad has to get 3 times the amount of spend before you make a judgment call. So for example, in my appointment-based sales system, I know $150 as a target cost per booked call is right on the money. So that means an ad has to spend $450 before I make a judgment call. If I've got one ad that is spent $450 and I have 0 calls, then I know that that ad is not a profitable creative. If I have that same creative and it's booked 3 calls, I know $150 per call, I'm right at that target number. If it's a little above, a little below, I'll let it run a little longer. If I book like 5 calls from that, I think that's, like, I don't know, $90 a call or something. I know I'm way below my target threshold and I've got a more profitable creative. But here's the confusing part is people talk about putting all of the ads in an ad set. So you have 5 ads at $50 a day. Well, if the algorithm split those evenly, that would be about $10 a day per ad. It's gonna take me 50 days for those ads to get enough ad spend. So how do you square those two things up? How do you test enough appeals so you're letting the algorithm do its thing while still allowing enough spend to get to each ad so you're not killing things prematurely? So what I learned is there's 2 validation processes. The first one is you let Meta take the first cut at it. You put 5 ads in that ad set or the CBO or whatever, and you let it spend to tell you the early signals of what it thinks are good or what it thinks are bad. It's gonna give spend to certain ones, then you shut off the ones that it didn't give spend to, and now Meta's done the first validation pass. Next, you let those winners breathe with the budget. So you went from, say, 5 ads, now you got 2 because Meta said the other 3 are no good, and now you let those ones get to that target cost per ad spend. So again, going back to my example, if $150 per call, I need $450 to know if that's a profitable ad creative. So why this matters is this allows you to test more creative and it allows you to test faster, which eventually leads to more profitable ads. Now, the other thing that made this confusing for me that maybe you've come across is creative diversity and creative volume. So with Andromeda, everybody's talking about you need more creative and you need more diverse creative. But when you're the one making all the ads, that can be kind of intimidating to figure all those pieces out. Like, dang, should I have a video? Should I have a static? Should I have a static with a different image? Like, how important is that creative diversity when I'm pushing it out at like 50 to $100 per day? And when I'm doing creative diversity, it's really hard to tell why something worked in your ad set. So if you've got 5 ads and all they do is have 5 different headlines and no different images, everything else is the same, and you're testing 5 different appeals, like price, like time, like, I don't know, sex appeal, whatever it is, and Meta picks a winner, it's very clear to you why that thing won. But if you're trying to play for creative diversity and you're trying different formats with different appeals or different colors or different images, and then you look at the data, it becomes really hard to figure out, well, why did that one work? So here's the advice I got in the mastermind on that from somebody that spent way more money on ads than I have and had a lot more success. He was saying, go for your creative testing. Put your 5 ads in there, test your different appeals with just the headline. Don't worry about creative diversity. This way, I'm not having to worry about creating a bunch of different variations of this. Plus, when I do get some data back, I actually know, okay, it was this appeal that was resonating. I could do a few different variations of that appeal, maybe with the same static, or what does that appeal look like with this image or this image? And you can kind of scientifically chip away at those one variable tests. From my experience of shipping, of making ads, of doing all this and running it as a one-man shop, getting that feedback back from this mastermind was super, super helpful because it's going to allow me to know what's working, what's not, and have a better just sort of systematic way of testing these things without getting lost in way too many variables.